Please subscribe to this channel and support us so we can post new sci-fi stories every day. Your support keeps us going. The morning started like any other Tuesday until the sky caught fire with alien ships. Massive vessels, sleek as teardrops and bright as dying stars, materialized above every major city on Earth. London, Tokyo, New York, Lagos all gazed upward at the impossible sight. Then came the voice, transmitted in every language simultaneously. People of Earth, we come in peace, to protect you. News anchors stumbled over words, world leaders scrambled for bunkers, and ordinary people stood frozen on sidewalks, coffee cups forgotten in their hands. Within hours, every screen on the planet displayed the same message scrolling in golden letters. Your guardians have arrived. The alien envoys descended the next day in suits that seemed to bend light itself. They towered nearly 8 feet tall, graceful yet imposing, with faces hidden behind translucent masks that pulsed with soft bioluminescence. At the hastily convened emergency session of the United Nations, they stood before the assembly like benevolent giants, addressing children. Their spokesperson's voice resonated with harmonic overtones. Your species is fragile, beautiful, but fragile. The cosmos is dangerous. We have traveled far to shield you from harm. Delegates shifted uncomfortably in their seats. President Martinez of Brazil frowned. Chancellor Weber of Germany raised an eyebrow. But it was General Patricia Hayes of the U.S. Joint Chiefs who finally voiced what everyone was thinking. Protect us from what, exactly? The question hung in the air like a challenge. For the first time since their arrival, the aliens seemed to falter. Their suits flickered through a spectrum of colors. Confusion, perhaps. The spokesperson's harmonious voice cracked slightly. From the threats that lurk in the void, General Hayes leaned forward, her scarred hands clasped on the table. That's not an answer. That's a fortune cookie. Nervous laughter rippled through the assembly. Within minutes, social media exploded. #AlienInsurance began trending worldwide. Memes flooded the internet. Aliens dressed as sketchy door-to-door salesmen, offering premium cosmic protection plans. Someone posted a video of their grandmother saying, "Honey, if they can't name the threat, they're probably selling snake oil." The aliens' discomfort became impossible to hide. Their suits now cycled through agitated patterns of red and orange. There are ... entities, their spokesperson stammered. Ancient predators that devour civilizations. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the UN's chief xenobiologist, stood up. Show us. The demand was simple, direct, and utterly human. The aliens exchanged glances at least. That's what their head movements suggested. Around the world, farmers watched the broadcast while tending their fields. We've handled locusts, droughts, and tax collectors. One Midwest corn grower told his neighbor. What's a few space monsters? Finally, the aliens activated a holographic projector. The air above the assembly floor shimmered, then exploded into a nightmare landscape. Massive creatures, part arthropod, part nightmare, tore through what looked like a crystalline city. They had too many claws, too many teeth, and moved with predatory grace. But Sergeant Mike Chen, watching from his base in South Korea, squinted at the display. "Hold up," he muttered. "Did that thing just ... bleed?" He was right. Green fluid spurted from wounds. The creatures screamed when hurt. Most tellingly, some were running away. "These things aren't invincible," Chen announced to his squad. "They're just animals. Big, ugly animals." Laughter began as a trickle and became a flood. The revelation spread through military channels, then civilian networks. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to find hope in the darkest moments. These moments usually involved gallows humor. Twitter user @CosmicSkeptic posted, "Aliens, we'll protect you from the scary monsters. Humans, the scary monsters that bleed and run away. Aliens, well, when you put it like that, ... Single quotes. The post got 12 million likes in an hour. The alien spokesperson, now cycling through what could only be described as embarrassed purple hues, tried to regain control. "You do not understand. These predators have consumed 47 civilizations. Entire star systems have fallen silent." The chamber fell quiet for a moment. Then President Martinez stood up, his weathered face serious. "Senor Alien, let me tell you something about humans. We don't hide behind others. We've never needed guardians before, and we sure as hell don't plan to start now." What happened next would be debated by xenohistorians for centuries. Humanity, for perhaps the first time in its contentious history, united not in fear but in defiance. Old grudges were temporarily shelved. Engineers in Detroit worked alongside scientists in Mumbai. Farmers in Ukraine donated scrap metal to shipyards in Japan. Teenagers in São Paulo designed memes that somehow boosted morale from Stockholm to Sydney. The aliens, who had expected grateful submission, watched in growing amazement as Earth transformed itself into a fortress. Their protection was politely, but firmly declined. 3 months later, the first Predator scouts arrived. These were smaller than the holographic nightmares, about the size of tigers but with crystalline carapaces and mandibles that could cut through steel. They expected easy prey. Instead, they found humans with nets, trenches, and an alarming enthusiasm for improvised explosives. The Battle of Detroit became legend when factory workers turned assembly lines into Predator processing plants. Literally, some assembly required. One worker spray-painted on a wall next to alien corpses. The Predators died screaming, and their dying screams were recorded, analyzed, and broadcast across every human settlement as a psychological warfare tactic. The main invasion force arrived 2 weeks later. Confident that their advanced scouts had simply encountered local resistance, they emerged from dark ships like a plague of nightmares, expecting to find cowering survivors. Instead, they found coordinated orbital missile strikes, fighter jets piloted by teenagers who'd grown up on flight simulators, and submarine crews who hunted the aquatic variants with whale songs mixed with death metal. Above the Pacific, Wing Commander Sarah Kim radioed to her squadron. "Remember, people, they're not invincible, they're just ugly." The Predators had never faced prey that fought back with such creativity. Humanity's military doctrine seemed to be, if it moves, kill it. If it doesn't move, kill it anyway. Then post the video. Rural communities became specialized hunter-killer units. Urban centers turned into elaborate trap networks. The Predators, accustomed to easy victories, found themselves being systematically exterminated by a species they'd planned to consume as an appetizer. During the siege of London, a Predator warlord identifiable by its crown of bone spikes cornered a human soldier in Westminster. It reared up to its full 12-foot height and snarled in broken English, "You should have accepted protection while you could." Private James Morrison, aged 19 and covered in alien blood, looked up at the monster and grinned. "Mate, we are the protection." He triggered the charges he'd been placing throughout their chase. The explosion took out 3 city blocks and gave the Thames a new bend, but the warlord became very dead very quickly. The original alien protectors, who had been observing from their ships with growing panic, now huddled in their command centers like children during a thunderstorm. Their suits had turned a steady shade of what humans would recognize as "oh shit" yellow. They sent panicked transmissions. "Across the galaxy, the humans are not normal. They fight like demons. They laugh while doing it." One particularly desperate message included security footage of a human grandmother beating a Predator to death with a rolling pin while humming show tunes. News of humanity's victory spread across the galactic communication networks faster than light. Species that had hidden from the Predators for millennia suddenly found themselves asking the same question that had started it all. What exactly are humans? The galactic community, which had developed its entire defensive strategy around hiding and hoping to be overlooked, discovered that some civilizations chose to fight instead. It was a revelation that shattered centuries of accepted wisdom. When the dust settled and the last Predator ship limped away from human space, the original protectors tried desperately to save face. They broadcast messages claiming they had guided humanity to victory and provided tactical support. Unfortunately for them, humans had recorded everything, including their own panicked transmissions. The recordings went viral across 17 star systems. The moment when General Hayes first asked "from who?" became the most watched video in galactic history. Earth's transformation from a backwater planet to the galaxy's most feared military power took exactly 4 months and 3 days. Tourism inquiries began arriving from species that wanted to see the warrior world for themselves. The humans, ever entrepreneurial, started charging admission. But the real masterstroke came when a human entertainment company uploaded the entire war as a streaming series, titled, "They Offered to Protect Us Until We Asked From Who." The series broke every viewership record in known space. Even the species that had been conquered by the Predators watched it obsessively, living vicariously through humanity's victory. The final episode, which featured director's commentary by the original Alien Protectors, under contractual obligation, included the now famous deleted scene where their spokesperson muttered, "Next time, we're just going to ask if they want to buy insurance like normal people." The series finale ended with humanity's new motto, spray-painted on the ruins of the last Predator flagship: "We don't need guardians. We are the guardians." The galactic audience gave it 5 stars across the board, though several review sites crashed under the volume of traffic. Earth never again received offers of protection from mysterious benefactors, but they did get invited to join something called the Galactic Security Council. The humans accepted, on one condition: they got to ask all the questions at the first meeting. The meeting lasted 6 hours. Humanity asked from who? Exactly 43 times. By the end, the galaxy had a much clearer picture of its actual threats, most of which turned out to be significantly less scary than advertised. But that, as they say, is another story. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to this channel and support us so we can post new videos every day. Your support means the world.